he mentioned Imam al-Banna in his basics of usul, and it is also a very basic point, is the reference. The reference. From where do we get our thinking, our goals, our understanding, our feelings? What other resources? We have only two resources: Al-Quran and As-Sunnah. This is the second basic thing. Imam al-Banna insisted that it is from the basics. We have to understand this. Any Muslim who claims anything about Islam, he must have his dalil from Quran and Sunnah. It's not a talk, it's not a philosophy, it's not a conversation, each one showing his own brilliance. No. This is a religion in which we believe to go to Al-Jannah. So we deal with this religion very seriously. No one tells us what is Islam. We must know it from Quran and Sunnah. No politician comes and tells us that Islam is secular or Islam is liberalism. We go back to Quran and Sunnah and we make this is our measure, Al-Quran or Sunnah, our measure to judge such ideas, such philosophies, such inclinations. They are fooling people with this wording. And I'm very sad to say that now some of the Muslims, supposed to be Muslims, are twisting also and sharing in this thing, trying to manipulate Muslims and say there's nothing in Islam called Dawla Islamiyya. It's not mentioned in Quran, it's not mentioned in this. Trying to manipulate, using the word and saying where this word. So we ask him, is ruling by Quran, is it a farida, a big farida or not? We have a lot of ayats, not one or two or three, maybe 30 or more ayats about ruling with Quran. So don't try to manipulate us with the wording dawla and not dawla, and where is the dawla as a definition, where is it and this. No. We go back to the basic. Should we rule or not? Is it a farida or not? When they say that liberalism is not against Islam, we say no, it is totally against Islam. Because it means loosening. Everything is loose. They claim that liberalism is the top of freedom of people. It's not correct. First, in liberalism, what they claim in their countries, in the West, there are rules, there are laws. If you go outside, you are not free to go outside these laws. So it's not a total freedom as they are trying to manipulate our youth, our Muslim youth with this. No, it's not this way. What they really want is us to be loose in our beliefs, loose in everything. So they can pass away their own ideas and their own philosophy and rule us against our will. They are playing us and using us. And not only us, Muslims who are supposed to be defending politically Islam, they are trapped now into this mess of liberalism and Almania, which is secularism. Where is our stand as Muslims? We only believe in Islam. In Islam, everyone who is presenting the bright side in his philosophy, in Islam, it's much, much more than what he is offering. For example, the freedom they are talking about, in France, young Muslims cannot wear hijab in schools, in public schools, in French schools. They are not allowed by the law. They made the law for this. This is the land of freedom. This is the liberalism, the secularism. They say it's a symbol for racism, for being too harsh and too... This is what they do. And they claim that it is the freedom, the openness for everything and for everyone. And they are lying. It's not the fact. In their countries, they do not do this. And they do not want us to do. They only want to get us away from the idea that Islam must rule. They want us to stay home or in the mosque, and that's it. So the life, the politics, the economy, the social activities, in life they control, in everything they control. And you can go to your mosque, you can make your praise, you can make your umrah, it's okay. So, the first two usul of Al-Imam Al-Banna was one, Ash-Shumul, the profound understanding, two, the reference, which is Al-Kitab wa Sunnah. Muslim only refer to these two. When things get mixed with him, he stops, he go back to Al-Quran and Sunnah and knows exactly what Islam ordered him, what Islam give him. And he start to apply this. A third thing, and I'm not going into details, I'm picking a few things to give you the challenges. Third thing is the disagreement, al-khilaf, the disagreement between Muslims. How should Muslims act with each other when they disagree? There are certain basics in Quran, not in Al-Banna's work, in Quran itself. One of them is the famous ayah, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. Mu'minun are brothers. They are bound with the brotherhood between them. That's Al-Mu'minun. In another ayah describing how they deal with each other, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَذِلَّةٍ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَعِزَّةٍ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. Meaning that when you deal with a Muslim, you go low, you try to tolerate. The tolerance, from the word tolerance, you tolerate your brother, you accept anything, you forgive him, you love him. And when it is with kuffar, you have to be very straight, very strong, very confronting. unfortunately, some of the Muslims now are doing the opposite. They are being kind and nice with kuffar, and maybe synchronizing political agreement with them, and at the same time they are very harsh with Muslims. So how can we say this is Islam? If we are going against the ayat of relationships between Muslims, there are very detailed things about the disagreements and khilaf between Muslims, but the minimum of it is that we keep our brotherhood high, and that we never hate a good Muslim. We never confront or fight a good Muslim. This is the minimum. To be clear here in our hearts and chest for Muslims, this is the minimum for this agreement. So how is this happening now? Are people doing this? Are the Muslims doing this? Or each group is attacking the others and debate always, and harsh debate and accusations? And why? Because they are not good Muslims. Anyone who does this is not a good Muslim. Now, we passed through 3 points, like understanding Islam from the point of shumul or profound understanding. The second point was the reference for Muslims. The third point was the disagreement between. Now, the fourth point is that Islam reached us here in Malaysia and Egypt and everywhere through a very strong work of da'wah and harakah. The first generation of Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, they worked very hard for Islam. They made da'wah everywhere. Most of them are dead and buried outside their countries, far away from their original lands, making da'wah and jihad everywhere. This is an essential point. Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this a rule. Islam will only win, will only rule when there is a group that takes this Islam very strongly, with a high spirit, strong work, a very, very, very big sacrifice. No sacrifice, no Islam. No work and harakah, no future for Islam. No da'wah, no future for Islam. So this harakah and this da'wah and this acts and performance and sacrificing, if there is no group of people, they made, what we call it, fault with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they are these people. They will be the extension of the first Sahaba and the Mujahideen all over the centuries, to make Islam back again as it was. Now we mentioned 4 points: the shumul, the reference, the disagreement, and the harakah, work and sacrifice. The question is, how can we reach to be like this? How can I be like this? Good understanding, clear reference, moral and ethics in disagreement with Muslims on a clear view, and a very strong work and deep sacrificing for this religion, for this Islam. How can I reach this? How can I be like this? Now we come to the major method. The major element in doing this, the major element in getting Khilafah back, the major element in building the core of the Ummah al-Muslimah al-Mujahida is in one word, but a very delicate and very important word, which is tarbiyah. Tarbiyah, tarbiyah, tarbiyah.